Hi there. Could not find the videos I'd recorded previously for Charlotte, so I'm going to start afresh and just record sort of two, probably 15, maybe 20-minute videos uploaded to YouTube that you can watch. Now, the first thing that you're going to need to do is go to this address here, edit-content.com/login, and I gave you some login details. Put your email and password. I would also click remember me. Now you need to do this in a modern browser to update the site and to view the site. So Chrome, Firefox, Opera, one of the modern, the latest versions. You can't do it. I think the NHS still uses like Internet Explorer 7 or 8, from possibly even as far back as 6 for its NHS mail systems. They're no longer supported by modern technologies for running websites, etc. So you can't update the site using that. You need to make sure you've got a copy of a different browser installed. So log in. I'm going to pause this video while I log in, and then you'll see a list of all the pages in the site that you can edit, and we'll pick it up from there. Okay, now what you see, I've gone into the master account, and I have a lot of different sites. Now, I'm impersonating you here. As you, the pages are loaded now. As you can see, it says Sheila Lidbetter, but I'm just impersonating you from the, so that because of the different privileges that can be associated with different accounts. Now, what you'll find you have is 43 pages in total in the site, as it says here, and they're arranged alphabetically by the way that they're named. So from accessibility down to confidentiality policy on the first page, sort of 1, 2, 3, I think it's 10 to a page. Home page is here. So any page on site, and we've tried to, this is just, it's not the, you see the actual name of the page is underneath it, contact.shtml, but contact us, it's just what we've named it within the content management system to find it easy to find. So they're sort of alphanumerically arranged, and as I say, there's 5 pages of them. Now the page that we're going to work on a lot of the time is this one. It's live on the internet, but it's not a page of the site that's Google indexed or that any of your patients will find. They can't get to it through the navigation on the site, and it's called the test page, and that's just for new users who come along to get used to using the content management system. And also when I'm demonstrating this, it means I can play around with this page without making any changes live on the site. Now most of the pages have a very similar format and layout, with the central editing area where most of the content sits in a sidebar except for the home page, and we'll touch on the home page a little bit later, but let's just go straight into that test page. That will load into the content management system, and then what you will find as you scroll down is that different areas are editable. Now ordinarily the page title should actually be editable, and it is on the other pages. This image can be replaced, but because of the drawbacks of using or not the drawbacks, but just because of, if you don't use a licensed image or one that comes from a copyright-free image bank, if you try and change any of these images, the drawback, and we had this for Steyning Health Centre many, many years ago when the practice manager put up a image, I think it was at Steyning, I'm pretty sure it was, that was actually licensed to Getty Images and ended up with a sort of £900 fine that they're having to negotiate down. Ordinarily, this page title, I'm sure, should actually be editable. If I click on one of the other pages, I'm sure it will be. Let's just, for the sake of argument, go to the appointments page. It's probably just a mistake, I haven't done it on this test page, so I'm going to change that quickly and upload it. Yeah, it should be editable. I'm going to pause this video while I just download and edit that page and make that editable. Okay, so I've just re-uploaded that page, made that bit editable. So what you'll see is any area that is editable when you mouse over it gets surrounded by a dotted line. So this area here, this bit of text on the sidebar, and the main content of the pages, and the page headlines, and the pictures. But as I said, best to ask us if you ever wanted to change the picture. Now, if you are changing the page headline, just let you know that a lot of the text styling in the site is controlled by what's called an external style sheet, so you don't need to attempt to change font faces, sizes, and also you don't need to capitalize. So if you wanted to, that's automatically done. So if this was, let's say, a page about your surgery hours or something, not that it is, but if you were working on that page and changing it, and you wanted to change, let's say, the title from surgery as to surgery opening as or practice opening as, you just simply select the bit of text or type in the text, and yeah, type. It's not difficult. Now, you've also got your main. On the vast majority of the pages, you just have this one editable area with all the text in it. Now, if you want to, this is just full of nonsense Latin placeholder text, but you can obviously left click your cursor anywhere inside a block of text and start typing. You can select a block of text, it's just like using Microsoft Word really, and type over it, and you can make text bold and you can make text italicized. We've taken out the underline option because accessibility guidelines, and it is vital that you stick to accessibility guidelines. You should never underline a bit of text to make it stand out, because people expect something that's underlined or fully underlined the whole way. Sometimes on sort of headlines, if you've got a big striking bit of underlining under, it's fine, but people expect text that's underlined to be a link. So you should never underline a bit of text. And if you copy across and paste some text in that has underlining on it, remove that underlining. So yeah, so bold, italicized. I'm not a fan of italic text myself, but you can use both of those to make text stand out. You can copy and paste, so if you had brought in some text from outside, so I'm just going to copy this bit of text here, but from an external website, find the place that you want to put that in, and some browsers don't allow the right click copy and right click paste in them, but most of the modern ones do. So you can then right click and paste, or you obviously have your keyboard shortcuts, Control and V to paste. So that's very, very simple. Now the only problem sometimes is that when you copy text across from some websites, you'll find that suddenly it's got a different font face and a different size text, and that's because sometimes their styling on their text isn't controlled by an external style sheet. It's internal within the block of text that you've copied across. If you had that, so if this was I'm just going to bold and italicize it, but if it had different formatting in it, there is a way to do that, to remove the formatting to make it look like the rest of the text on the page, and that is simply to highlight the block of text that's got the wrong formatting in it, and from this paintbrush option here, from this A option here, is to remove formatting. Now don't use underline, please. As I said, it is there as an option, but don't use it. So you can remove the formatting. So that's if you copy something across from another website or out of a document and the text is like bigger, smaller, the wrong font, just use that option from the A. I'm going to take out this link that's here. That's where we were working on. I'm just going to backspace it to get rid of it. That's where we were working on this sample page before, to show Charlotte how to use it. Now the other thing that you have got, you can use some other simple options like indenting text, or that's aligning. Now the site is set up to left align. Do not justify ever. That's against accessibility rules, so ignore that. Never fully justify it. The spacing is wrong and it makes it illegible, and it fails accessibility guidelines, website accessibility guidelines. I wouldn't left align or right align or center align anything. Maybe something on the home page when we look at that might be center aligned, but just don't do it. Just leave it left aligned automatically. Again, if you copied and pasted a block of text over that had internal styling that made it center aligned, just use this here to just put it back left. Everything should be left aligned within the site. It just makes it easier to read. You can also, let's tab these down, make things into lists, bulleted lists, numbered lists by selecting it and using bulleted and numbered list. Teaching grandma to suck eggs, really, we all know how to make lists. You've got an undo function here, by the way, which goes back, I think, up to 15 steps. So if you make some mistakes, you can always, you can see here, it's just taking it back. The other thing that you can do from that drop down that you'll see there, this one, is to indent a block of text to make it stand out a bit if you need to do that. So if you wanted to make something stand out, indent it, bold it, makes it stand out a bit. Again, I'll just show you again, you can undo that very, very easily. Now, one of the other things that you're going to need to do is links. Now, when it comes to links, you have to really think about accessibility. So links should never be the full address. If it's, if you were linking to nhs.uk/coronavirus vaccine update.aspx, don't use that. That's obviously the link, but don't use that as the link text. The link text should be descriptive of where you are sending a site visitor, whether it's an internal or external page. So let's look at internal links. So if we wanted to say find out more about our online services, so that's a good descriptive link, right? So you would either want, sorry, I've misspelled our there, you would either want to highlight the bit that says online services, or the whole bit, find out more about our online services, because then screen readers for the blind and visually impaired know what the text's about, and it just makes it far more accessible. Now, when it comes to links, highlight the bit, as I say, it could just be this bit, but I'm going to highlight the whole bit, and then you use this chain little link icon. And when it comes to an internal link, now this open a new window, this will apply to external websites and documents like PDFs that you upload to the site, but not for internal pages of the site, because you want, although it works differently obviously on mobile phones, you want any patient that's visiting this in a browser, on a PC, tablet, etc. to just navigate from one page to the next within the site, within the same tab, within the same browser window. Now the easiest way to do it is you could type in the full URL or copy and paste it in there from within the Steyning medical practice website. But the easiest way to do it is to use this folder icon to browse to the page that you want to link to. Now, unfortunately, over the years, they shouldn't be, but a number of PDFs and documents here have been uploaded into the root folder that should have all actually gone into this folder here called PDF files, which should be where all the documents are stored. But there have been multiple different people working on the website, changes in practice management, etc., and just unfortunately a lot of things have got uploaded to the root folder, which makes it a little bit cluttered when you're looking at it. But the pages of the website currently all end .shtml. Now that might get updated to .php because we're looking at changing servers, and the server we're looking at doesn't run the shtml extension. But at the moment, all the actual pages of the site end with the extension .shtml, apart from the alert pop-up that comes up on the home page with the blacked out screen, and that is .html. But if it's got .text, .docx, .pdf, you can ignore those. Okay, so appointments.shtml. If it's the rest of them, if it's got A scripts, these are parts of the scripts that run the site, etc. So you do not, and also this sidebar with PPG was an old version that should have gone. Basic first aid, so it's .shtml, so the catchment map, children's illnesses, so it should be quite easy to find the right page. The chronic kidney disease is CKD. Ignore this color box. Confidentiality complaints, that's a PDF. In fact, Charlotte's or somebody's uploaded virtually all of them into the root folder by the looks of it, but it is what it is. Again, this one indexed with eConsult banner, that was an old version, so don't worry about that. So the index page is the index.shtml. These I should probably take off the server, to be honest. So PDFs, right, but again, PPG, the patient group page, practice charter page, practice overview. So this I said find out more about our online services. So that page is online_services.shtml. So we find the page that we want to link to, click the tick, hit select, then submit it. Do not tick this for an internal page. And then saying we've done, I mean obviously you don't need to do this every time you do one change, but if you're doing several changes on a page, or it might just be inserting the link. To publish a page, if you wanted to leave the system totally, you're just doing some quick edits, publish and exit, but just publish. Now I've actually got the Steyning Health Centre website open in a tab here, but let me close that down, because then once you've done your change, the easiest way to actually see it is to go to I forget if it's site or edit, and visit the web page. And this is now, you see it's a little bit says surgery opening as, that's just because we changed that headline. You see this is the test page up here in the browser address bar, and we can see that this change here that we've put live is there on the test page, and if I click on that, it will, within this browser, take us in the same tab, take us to the online patient services page. So that's an internal link. Now an external link, let's close that down, slightly different. So back in here to edit, let's go see the latest NHS coronavirus or COVID-19, whatever we want to call it, coronavirus advice. I'm just going to pause the video while I get that actual page up on the NHS site. And so here you go, I've just searched that and opened that page. So what I want is I want that address, so I'm just going to select it all, right click, copy, so I've got the address. Then I'm going to select that, so we don't want to use that as the link by just popping it in. Obviously a spelling mistake here. So I could just put coronavirus advice, but I'm going to select the whole thing for it to be descriptive. Never also, do not put in click here to see the latest NHS advice. Click here has been redundant for about 15 years. A lot of people still put it in. Do not use the letters click here to see. Just see or the latest NHS corona advice. So if this was in here, you wouldn't even have to necessarily say see the latest. You could say here's a link to, I don't know, but just don't use click here. Anyway, so select that link button again, paste that URL in, but this we do want to open in a new window, because if somebody goes to the NHS site or any external site and navigates around, let's say 10-15 pages for further advice, the last thing you want to make them do, certainly on a computer, is to hit the back button 15 times to get back to your website. So you want it to open into a new browser window, a new tab that they can just close down. So yes, open a new browser window, submit. Right, let's just see how this works by publishing it. I'm going to close the actual link down here that we had open. When this is published, you get your green tick. And remember, we go to edit, visit web page. Now if we click on this second link here, you see it opens it, but it hasn't opened it in the same tab, it's opened it in a new tab. So if I navigated around here to have a look at several pages, whatever I was doing when I closed that down, the Steyning medical practice website would still be open. Let's close that down as well. Email links, same deal. Do not use the email address, if possible, as the link. So email us for further advice. So that might be your own email address, or you might be recommending a service where people can get in touch. Select that link, right, but this time what you type instead of an address is you do mail, M-A-I-L, to, as in send my mail to, colon, whatever the email address is, name at domain.com. So it could be an NHS address or whatever. Mail to, colon, the name, and that sometimes is John Smith rather than John Smith. Obviously be careful that you type in the right email address. Doesn't need to open a new window. Submit, and then that link, like any link on the web, will choose the default email program, which in my case is Gmail on this computer, to send an email, or open up the email program, send an email to that link. And again, when that's published, visit web page, click on this email us for further advice, but all links should be descriptive about what the link is actually doing and what it's actually asking me what I want to do. So I would choose Google Mail here, but because I've installed a new email program recently. Anyway, I'm just going to cancel that. So that's the basic links. I'm going to pause this video here because we just hit 20 minutes, and then the next one I'll just cover some other stuff like data in tables, images, the home page layout, which is slightly different, and I've got a video actually I think that I recorded that I'll also send you on making images responsive to Charlotte. And responsive images mean that this website responds to the device it's viewing on. It collapses down its number of columns, so the right hand sort of bar will fall under the main content on mobile phones, etc. But images have to be made to do that. They don't do it automatically, but we'll cover that, as I say, in the next video.